Good morning, happy Monday and welcome to Crafters TV. It's our last week before Christmas. I'm quite excited that we're nearly at Christmas, but last week's a bit of a sad one, isn't it, really? You probably wonder who I'm talking to, and for once I'm not actually talking to myself. I am joined by the lovely Craig. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning to you too.
Are you well?
I am very well, thank you very much.
Brilliant.
We had a fun weekend over the weekend with myself and Corinne. You've got me all day again today, and obviously with yourself for Wake Up Call. And we're going to have a little look at what we've got coming up throughout the day, because we've actually got a masterclass where it's all about our Ultimate Pro and our scoreboard. So we're going to have a little think of the show I done last weekend with the starter skills, and we've done them in kind of like a 1 hour section. What we're going to do is we're just going to extend that, and we're just going to focus on a little bit more detail, as to say, with the different scoreboards, because not only that, you will find on the website as well, there is going to be a USB you might want to get your hand on, where you can create lovely different projects. So you can be doing exploding gift boxes that you can see here with the lids to go with them, and you can be doing them in any of your cardstocks that you've got at home. But then maybe you want to do this pizza style, whereas we open that one up, and then you can put little gifts in there, little cards, a nice alternative to a box envelope or a simple box. We can close that up, tie it on. But then what we're also going to do, we've got Monday makers. Wouldn't be Monday makers or a Monday without a Monday maker.
Certainly would not. And so we've got some real treats coming up, I've got to say.
We really, really do. We might have a look at the Marco Floral.
Oh no,
dies.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Is this the Marco Polo dies?
Yeah, definitely, well, you know, close to it. It's definitely the Marco, but not the Polo, definitely the Floral here. Now I say might, because we are down to single figures. So if you are quick, you will find these across on our website that we might have a look. But then what we've got is our heritage dies, which I absolutely adore. There is so many different ways, so many twists and turns that you can use these. You can still use them in all your different concept ways. You'll be able to use them with your Ultimate Pro, your scoreboard if you want to, your additional dies. But then we have got our stamp and die creator cards. These have been so popular because this has taken our very famous creator card die range and our creator card stamp range, bringing them together, creating our stamp and die creator card. So you can use the stamps on their own if you want to, but the dies will work with the stamps. You can colour in whichever medium that you want. So there'll be a number of things that we're going to have a look at throughout Wake Up Call, but then, as I say, Masterclass is all about our Ultimate Pro and scoreboards, and then Monday Makers, we're going to delve into a few of these. We might even just have a look at a few other things as well.
Oh, exciting. We've got a top day lined up. I have to say I'm super excited for that Masterclass, all about our scoreboards, taking it really back to basics. So if you are a new crafter, then that's going to be the perfect show to tune in for. I know Craig's got lots of brilliant demonstrations. He's going to be talking you through all the different scoreboards that we've got within our range. And of course, Monday Makers is always a cracking show. And I have to say, I said it at the time, and I'll say it again, those heritage dies have got to be one of my favourite launches that we've had all year. You know, I'm obsessed with the nesting die. Any sort of nesting die, if we bring in lace, I'm sold. Had to have those as soon as we launch them. And if you've not picked yours up yet, make sure you do check the website. You don't have to wait till Monday Makers. We will be sharing them with you throughout this morning's Wake Up Call, so do be quick on those. And those Marco Polo, whatever you want to call them, it's catching. Those lovely embossing folders, you're going to have to be super quick, because this morning we had a little meeting and the numbers that we've got of some of those very low. So they're on individuals, 35% saving on the individuals, but very low stock, so be really quick with those, because quite frankly, they're not going to be here at 6.
They're not.
Sorry,
they're
Ben.
Really not.
Sorry, not sorry, but they won't be here for this evening. But talking of brilliant savings, talking of great deals, perhaps you've not been tuned in over the weekend or the past few days. We've started our brilliant winter sale, and if you've not already seen, we've got savings of up to 70%. Incredible savings. We've got prices as low as £1.49. There's an elf behind me.
Ben's not until later. Let's change that, Lily. It's me and you.
Wow, just us two. I've got my very own stocking. I'm very excited. Hey, we could be filling that stocking full of all goodies from that winter sale, so make sure you are checking out the website. Savings of up to 70% on there. Like I say, prices Under £2 for some of those items, amazing value. But again, some of the stocks are dwindling quite quickly. I think you guys have sort of caught wind of quite how good those savings are. So do check out the website for that winter sale as well. So much going on today. It's going to be a fabulous day as ever. And like I say, it's the last Monday before Christmas here on Crafters TV. So it's brilliant to have your company. And I hope you can stay tuned for the full day. But we're going to start by looking at some of the goodies that we've got. Oh, there's a ghost. The stocking's gone.
You carry, don't mind me, Lily.
I won't mind our Christmas
We'll
elf.
have to have both our stockings together. You carry
We
on.
do. But anyway, we've got our masterclass coming up at 2 o'clock, like we mentioned earlier, focusing on our Ultimate Pro and scoreboards. So we're going to take a little sneaky peek at some of the incredible deals that we are going to be bringing you later today. But of course, I always like to sort of get in there early. After all, Ben's back later today. He's not back for now, but I want to sort of get in early and get these deals across to you straight away so you can pick these up. If you are wanting to go for these, you don't have to wait for this afternoon's masterclass. You can just sit back, enjoy that show and know that you've got these incredible products coming to you, which is absolutely brilliant. And like I said earlier, these are true essential items. At the end of the day, whenever we make cards, we need to be able to score. We need to actually create that card base. So you're going to need a scoreboard in order to do that. And your Ultimate Pro is not only going to allow you to create your card bases, your envelopes as well, even your envelope boxes. We've got things like our bow making system in there. We've got our guillotine or trimmer even. We've even got decorative embossing elements like we can see on the top of the board here, which is absolutely incredible to get all that included. We call it a 10-in-1 function. Of course, Craig will be taking us through that in a little bit more detail later, but of course there's so much more than those 10 functions that you can actually do with that scoreboard, and I'm really excited to see Craig's take on that and for him to sort of share some of his little hints and tips of when we're working with this incredible Ultimate Pro. But of course, we're not just bringing you that on its own, and just to note, there are 2 different options with this deal. There's the metric or the imperial, so it's completely up to you which one you do go for. The Imperial is US only, but all 3 channels, the US, the UK and the EU, can all go for the metric, which is the one that you're seeing on your screens. Retail price of this Ultimate Pro, fantastic price, $39.99. That's what I paid for mine many moons ago. I have to say it was probably the first Crafter's Companion item that I actually ever bought, and I've got the exact same scoreboard to this day. Use it every single time that I craft. I paid $39.99 for this. Quite happy to pay that. It's still a brilliant deal when you think of all the functions that you get within this incredible scoreboard. But of course, we're Crafters Companion. It's nearly Christmas. We're going to have to bring you some Christmas gifts. We're going to fill up those stockings. I mean, this probably won't fit in one of those stockings. It's a good size scoreboard, but we're not just bringing you the Ultimate Pro on its own. When you purchase this as part of the deal that we've got on your screens, you're going to get the boxer board for free. So you're not paying anything for that whatsoever, and you're also going to get, let's be honest, they are legendary, the stuff of legend, and quite frankly they can sometimes be as rare as rocking horse tears or any other thing coming from a rocking horse that we might say. But tape pen, you're getting that free within the bundle. So all you're doing is you're paying for your Ultimate Pro and you're getting your boxer board and your tape pen for absolutely nothing. You're saving £18.98 or $21.94. In platinum, even better. It's coming down for this whole bundle to just $31.99 or $55.96. Like I say, this is truly an essential bundle. Even if you've already got one of the scoreboards, think about that deal. Think about the fact that you're actually getting the Ultimate Pro for free and that boxer board and your tape pen for absolutely free when you're paying for that Ultimate Pro. So if you've already got one, think about giving these away for Christmas gifts. And quite frankly, you can never have enough of those tape pens, as we'll see in demonstration. We see them time and time again, day in, day out here on Crafters Companion and Crafters TV. A true essential. A brilliant bundle, but I want to sort of see what we can be doing with it. But before we throw over to Craig, I want to say good morning to a few of you joining us here on Crafters TV. We've got lots of you in already, nice and bright and early. It's so lovely to have your company. Are you ready for Christmas? I'm not, but we'll worry about that on Sunday. We've got a few more days, plenty more days. It'll be fine, but it'll be here before we know it. So are you guys at home ready? So we've got Jeffrey's joining us. George Ann's joining us. We've got Vader. Michelle Harris is saying good morning. Kathy Myers. We've got Virginia Boyd's in. Zoe Carver from a cold and wet West Sussex. Well, I have to say it's a lot warmer here this morning. I could not believe when I stepped outside. Actually felt warm. And it's very rare that I say that. I feel like the past 2 weeks on Wake Up Call I've been sat here saying good morning, it's very cold, but it's totally different today. It feels quite warm, which is quite strange. We've got Pamela, Val saying good morning. Wet day down in Southampton as well. And we've got Trine joining us, and she's asking us, got a question already. Do get your questions in, a perfect show for all your questions. Does the Ultimate Pro USB stick show you different ideas for cards on the scoreboard? I don't have the Pro. So the USB has been designed to work with the Ultimate Pro, so it is a Ultimate Pro USB.
It is. So the USB, you're going to pop that into your computer, whether it's your laptop. I know technology nowadays, you can get connectors so that you can also plug it into your iPad and that and watch it. But what you'll find from the USB as well, yes, you can watch the videos of all the projects. However, what you can also do as well, you can do printouts, whether you like to visually learn or if you like to read and learn, then you can do your printouts that you can see here. And that's the one on the screen, Lily.
And that is what we're calling a star buy, because that is an incredible saving. Johnny's saying it's half price. Johnny, it's better than half price. In platinum, £16 or $28. Incredible. You're getting so many different projects on there. I'm sure Craig's going to be sharing a few of those with us, starting right at beginner level projects. So perhaps you've never created a card or box before. Maybe you're a card maker and wanting to get into those 3D projects that will hold your hand through those different skill levels, taking you right up to some super advanced, super show-stopping projects. But with all that tuition, using it alongside your Ultimate Pro, you're going to get those incredible results very easily. An absolute must-have. I have to say, I refer to my USB time and time again. Sometimes, some days, I've not got an awful lot of inspiration. I'm not quite sure what I want to create. I always find by mixing up that card base or a box, it gives you that spark of creativity and inspiration. So a great one to go for. Star buy, better than half price. Incredible. But talking of projects, what can we do with our Ultimate Pro and Boxer? So super excited to see.
Yes, so this is going to be combining your Ultimate Pro and if you go for the USB. Now, if you don't go for the USB, you can still do lots and lots of projects when it comes to your Ultimate Pro. But this is at least giving you an idea how you can tag team them both together, because you can then be creating all these little treat boxes. You can then make the little trays for them to sit in, so it could be your desk organizer, any colour, any pattern, it's up to you. I mean, look at these, so that could be a tiny little bar of chocolate, it could be maybe a little gift card for different stores for a gift. But then you can do all these sorts of effects here. I mean, isn't that fab? Really simple to create by following the videos if you are going to go for the USB, but of course you can do the printouts. What I would say, it is absolutely a lot easier to print out the instructions via a laptop or a computer than it is via an iPad or a phone or anything like that with the connection leads if you choose to go for one of them elsewhere. But you can do all these different ones, different ways. And Sarah herself and Johnny, they will explain, not Johnny, but Sarah. Johnny was
I was thinking
recording.
it's Johnny on this DVD. I'm
He's
sure this is
definitely
not the
not on
USB
it.
I've got.
Just Johnny popping on, making one of these. But what you can do is you will learn how to make something like this. But you can decide on the height if you want. If you want to change it, you absolutely can. But these are just some ideas. This one you could be making, but then bringing in your scoreboards, bringing in your embossing folders that you might already have at home. I mean, look at these box envelopes that you can then make, you can pop in. And then if you want to do little notelets on one side, if you want to put your little envelopes in another, if you've got your spare cards and envelopes from your craft kits, then you can maybe store them in there and make these as little gifts if you want to. Once again, you can be doing these in your texture card. The lip of the envelope is stuck on that one. You can do it onto your Centura Pearl. You can do it onto your pattern papers. This is just a smidge of the ideas that you can create when it comes to the different projects. Maybe you just want to use it as a standalone tool within your crafting room, or it could be your kitchen, it could be your dining room, because with this, what you can absolutely do is work on it. You can do a variety of different things, such as you can be doing your scores of your card. Now you'll see on here, and I'm going to tip it. We've got Charlotte and we've got Johnny in the gallery today.
Testing them.
So we know Charlotte is awesome at getting the good shots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip it slightly so that we can kind of see there's embossed raised detail. So we're going to flip it that way, and then what I'm going to do is I'll turn it, because now that I can see Charlotte is face on, what I'll do is I'll turn it that way. Maybe it's going to be a bit better. There you can just see it. Now, keeping in mind we've got all the lights glaring, you'll see it at home. It's nice and it's embossed. What that does is that will tell you many of your different score lines. So you can be creating, simply from this side, you can be creating your gatefold A5, you can do your 8/5 concertina, your gatefold A4, as well as your concertina 8/4, you can do trifold A4, you can do half fold A5, you can do your 5-inch square fold, half 4 A4. That's what all these lines are for. But then you've got all these additional embossed lines that you can go around the side of your card blanks. It could be the edges of the box, additional straight ones. You've got your zigzag, you've got your scallops. So maybe you don't have the dies, but then you can then be using this if you are on the road. Maybe you are, of course, going in a caravan, little holiday. But what I will also show you is we do scoreboards as well.
We do.
We do. We do the dance. We have got our scoreboards, and that's what these are for. These slip into place, and it holds that nicely, nice and snug. However, if you do just have these, just to point out, you can use them on their own, but that is what those little notches are for. Yours will come with a black clip. Ours always goes walkabout. But what we can do is open up. Now, when it comes to in here, what you are going to be able to do is you're going to be able to do your K cards, your pop-out cards. You might just want to use these as an embossed detail. You might want to use these as your apertures for shakers. We'll show you in a booklet in a moment what I mean by your different ways. Then when we open on the other side, you've got your simple box maker. Now, you've got your box base on your left, you've got your box lid on your right. If you're used to your score master or your big score, simply turn it around so your lid's on the left, your base is on the right. You've got your inches, you've also got your centimetres as well if you want. These are all half-inch increments, and then you've got your additional score details down the middle. If you want to put them around your card blank, or maybe your boxes, as I was saying, maybe your envelopes, it's up to you. If we go into this side here, you can store additional scoreboards if you want to, maybe some cardstock if you want. It easily holds your A4, and it's going to hold your letter size as well, no issues at all. If we flip to this side, we've got our simple envelope maker. Now, you're going to be doing them in a variety of different sizes. Just to say as well, you do get your booklet. You'll see that in a moment. But you can be doing your envelopes. You can be doing more of your K cards, your pop-out cards. These are for the corners of your envelopes, but you can use them elsewhere by doing the embossed detail. You've got all these little holes here. These enable you to pop these in, and that's now your bow maker. So you've got your bow maker that you can create all your different bows. What we've also got in here is we have got our paper trimmer. So if we go back to the middle, your paper trimmer sits into place. I do like to have it this way, so I go in with my inches. So say all I wanted was, I'm going to turn it that way so the hinge is the top. I'm going to go in, and whatever size card I want, let's say you go into your 5-inch. Now, I've not got my blade out just yet. This is the sort of thing we'll show you fully in masterclass. It's a standard UK blade, so you can absolutely restock on these in any DIY stores that you can see here. So all you're going to do is that's going to just protrude out the edge there. It's going to slot in. You're going to then cut. That is then your paper trimmer all inbuilt, but as we say, it does fit nicely right into the back here. So we can pop that one in, we can pop that one in. You will get 2 score tools as well. We keep ours out because we use them all the time. And then what you've also got is your booklet. That is going to be your pride and joy. Many of you will hole punch it, put it into binders. Some of you will certainly laminate certain pages. This is where, just with the Ultimate itself, no USB, no nothing else, just the Ultimate Pro, your card making, your bow maker, box maker, envelope making, pop out in K cards, I was talking about a moment ago, decorative embossing, you've got your paper trimmer, you've got your storage, your accessories, that's your introduction. It steps you through your actual card making. Basic cards, gatefold cards, trifold slimline, accordion. Once again, it's all done, Lily, just by the Ultimate Pro itself, nothing else. You will, of course, need your card stock, jump cards, pop out. You've got your photos, you've then got your written step-by-steps, you've got your top tips as well. Then if you go through more detail about how you're doing your K card, your bow making, the way you're going to wrap it around the actual little bow stumps, basic box techniques, your shapes. If you love to do boxes, but you want to do something like a hexagon or a diamond, it steps you through how you can then cut into the angles, because it's slightly different than a square box. You've got magic ruler techniques, aperture, envelope, wedge boxes. All these are here for you to follow along. Here is where you can be doing your different envelope sizes when it comes to just your Ultimate Pro on this side here. So it could be A9 envelope, A2, it could be a 10-inch slim, it could be 4-inch, 6-inch, 8, slimline, all these different ones. We will talk you through this just shortly within Wake Up Call. Once again, we'll go in a lot more detail when it comes to Masterclass. As I was talking about your decorative edges that you can emboss, you've got all of these here written for you. You're going in, how to use your paper trimmer, the best way to do it, the actual mouse cutter I was explaining a moment ago, why your scoring tool has your two different edges that you can see here. That's explained all in your little booklet. What I would say as well, Lily, not only just with that, but all of your scoreboards. If you go onto our website, you will find on the download section, you can download guides for all of your scoreboards, your Ultimate Pro. You can do them for your Gemini. Everything is there. So what I have done a couple of years ago, Lily, is, for instance, there is that one there. What I also do is I printed them out that we can see, and I put them all into the binder. We've got our Ultimate Pro, that's actually the one there. I've then got my sizing charts, I've got my top score. This is all the ones that we do or have done. Envelope Pro, Box Maker, Envelope Box Creator, all the measurements. So I would highly recommend, I've even put my Gemini manuals in there by printing them out. When it comes to your Ultimate Pro, your scoreboards, I would highly recommend doing that. Are across on the download section when it comes to our website, but that itself, Lily, is your Ultimate Pro. We are going to have a look in a moment and we'll create one or two things, but that is itself, that is your Ultimate Pro. I've taken near about, I don't know, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, just to explain what it can do. You can then have a play with measurements, you can do different things, various amount of things when it comes to the Ultimate Pro. And this being, as well as that envelope maker, the Ultimate Pro is what catapulted Sarah in Crafter's Companion to, well, the worldwide company that it is today.
It's funny that you should have shown all your printouts, because I've actually done a similar thing as well.
Yeah.
Because I use my Ultimate Pro literally every single time that I craft. And you know, you guys know at home what I'm like. I craft every single day. I craft pretty much every single waking hour when I'm not here.
You do,
if I'm not
don't
running.
you?
And if I'm running, I'm crafting in my mind as well. So the fact that I'm using this every single time that I craft just goes to show how indispensable this is as a tool. Like I said earlier, I've had exactly the same Ultimate Pro since I started crafting, since I started buying Crafter's Companion products, and we're looking at 10 plus years ago now. And I always say, when I think of Crafter's Companion, the first thing that comes to mind is our scoreboard. It's very much what Sarah built our reputation and our business and our company on. The fact that we've got these fantastic tools that you'll be using in your crafting day in, day out, they are really absolutely essential. If you've not got one of these in your crafty stash already, what are you doing? You need at least one, let's be honest, because of the fact that it comes in this, it's almost like a purple briefcase, if you like, but the most fabulous briefcase you could ever possibly own. So it's perfect if you are going for your craft classes, if you're crafting on the go, you've got that carry handle. It's fairly lightweight, it's not super heavy, so you can be bringing this with you if you're going out and about. So I would say, even if you've already got one, Think about having one in your craft room and then having one which you can actually take out with you, but also a perfect gift as well, especially for a new crafter, especially when you're getting the boxer board and that incredible tape pen. 22 meters of unrivaled sticking power on that tape pen. An incredible deal to get everything included. All you're doing is you're paying for that Ultimate Pro and you're getting the boxer board and the tape pen for free. Amazing. And don't forget, check out on the website, we have got a US only bundle and we do have one for the sort of the whole wide world, if you like. So we've got those two different options, the metric and imperial. So metric for UK, EU and US. If you want in the imperial, that is just for US only, and that's shown on your screens. Same price, $55.96 in platinum, and exactly the same deal. Don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. You're still getting that incredible deal of your Ultimate Pro and those 2 free items. And when we say free items, they've been designed specifically to all work together perfectly. Ultimate Pro goes hand in hand with your boxer board. You saw just then with Craig how these additional sort of complementary, almost like expansion pack scoreboards actually fit within your Ultimate Pro. And of course, like we mentioned earlier, that tape pen is invaluable, and because it's so strong, you can use it for your construction as well, which is incredible. An amazing bundle. We've had some people already coming in and saying how much they love their Ultimate Pro. I mean, anyone who's used it, they never go back to another sort of scoreboard, do they? These are amazing. So Michelle Harris is loving the envelope box set. Alicia Gordon is saying it's a wonderful tool and she highly recommends. Sandra's got a great little tip for us as well. I know we were struggling slightly under the studio lights to see that embossed writing. She's recommending taking a black permanent marker and just highlighting those embossed words to make them stand out a little bit more. That's a fabulous little tip there. Love it when you guys send your tips in, because I nick them half the time and I think, it's a good idea, I'll do that myself, so I might be doing that myself as well. And we have got a question from Cheryl. Are the products on this USB, the one that we flashed up earlier, better than half price saving, different from the USB bought during birthday week 2021? No, that is the USB is the one that launched last year's birthday. So if you've not already got that one, make sure you do check out those baskets and get that one. But it is the 16th anniversary USB. Brilliant to have in your crafty stash, and of course it goes hand in hand with this Ultimate Pro. An incredible bundle, platinum price of $31.99 or $55.96. However, you've whetted my crafty appetite, kind sir.
Right,
More
Theo.
demos, please. Can we have a little look around the scoreboard?
Let's have a look at our Ultimate Pro first, and we'll make a very simple box just to show you how you can use the box maker. But we will do on Masterclass as well, you'll find it on the website, we've got our envelope box creator. So in Masterclass later we'll cover lots of it within Wake Up Call, just want to cover some chunks. So we'll use our Ultimate Pro for our box, and then in a moment I'll show you how you can make an envelope with your envelope creator, but I will also visually show you how you could do it with the actual Ultimate Pro as well. So it all works together. So let's go in with our scoreboard box side that we can see here. Now we've got our box lid, we've got our box base here. It is all embossed down at each side. So we've got our base and our lid. These are all 1/2 inch increments. Now, if you're familiar with our box making, it's exactly the same. You're going to come along and you're going to cut your cards to exactly the same size. All you need to decide is, do you want the lip of the box to be 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1 inch, whatever it is, or, well, not 1/4 inch, but every 1/2 inch, because they're 1/2 inch increments. So let's go in with our box lid, and we're going to score it at the second line, which is 1 inch, because the first one's 1/2 inch, the next one is 1 inch. So I'm just going to go in with the score tool that we have got included.
And also, if you are wanting replacements of things like your scoring tools, replacement blades or replacement rulers as well, you will find those on the Shop the Day category on the website, so do check those out. And also, all those other scoreboards that Craig has just been mentioning, things like your Envelope Box Creator, those are also individually on amazing savings on the website. Savings of over 30% on some of those, so do check out the website for those deals as well.
Right, so I've gone over onto the other side here, and I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to go to the second line in, so exactly the same on the left-hand side, but we're going to go into the second line here. And then what we can do is score all the way down. So I like to do it lightly and a few times. And
I
we've
always
got
say
that
exactly
lip
the same.
at the side here, definitely it's going to hold it, and then you're going to get that nice clean emboss. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to fold it over, use your score tool, give it a burnish. So we're going to go all the way around, folding in on itself, and then we can then score it, burnish it. We're then going to go in with our scissors in a moment. We'll go over onto what will be our box lid. So we can then score all the way around. Sometimes you might find, although I'm doing 2 different colours, I know from memory that that was my lid and that was my box. If you're doing same colours, you might just want to do a little L on one of them for the lid. It's entirely up to you. And then what we're going to do is, in each corner, we have got a cross section. So we have got, let's go in just with a black pen so you can see. So there is where you've got that cross section there. So what you're going to do, now many people will do this in many different ways. The key thing is you end up with a little tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut down to our score line, and then I go in and then I just do a nick at an angle. So we can see we've got our little tab. I always just turn around clockwise and then cut, and then at an angle, and then we're going to do the same, cut. Now it could be as much as that, as long as you've got a tab. For me, the more cardstock I've got, because I would usually use tacky glue, I'm going to use our tape runner for this demonstration, but the more platform I've got, so to speak, on the tab, the better the grip you're going to get. But it's entirely up to you. You don't have to do a great big tab. And then all we're going to do is exactly the same on the actual base. Now, this could be your black, it could be your white multi-purpose, but then we've got cardstock on the show, whether it is your Centura Pearl, your luxury card. You can still do this with your mirror cards, your satin cards, even your shedless glitter card. What I would say with your shedless glitter card is I go lightly and I do it maybe about 3 or 4 times, just so that we can break not only the fibres, but the actual glitter as well as the coating that comes between the layers. But you will find it'll work an absolute treat.
And
then
would you,
what we're going to do,
would you score from the glitter side, or would you score from the reverse?
so
if you
I
use a
will
glitter
always
card?
score, for me personally, on the glitter side, so that I'm not going to be cracking, I'm not pushing the glitter out, but you have a little play. You might prefer doing it, you might find it is a little bit too gritty for you to score onto. There's nothing wrong doing it the other way, it's just we would always recommend that you fold into your score line.
Yeah.
So that's why I would do it a few times, but lightly. But we're just going to work all the way around. Now, don't get me wrong, Leanne will always tell you our tape runners, they are incredibly strong. It is wet glue properties in a dry form adhesive. Still, the way I've always crafted for many years, a tacky glue with construction, you know that the glue is going to dry into the fibres of each side of your card, and then you're going to get a really, really strong burnish. But then with the lid here, Lily, this is what I was referring to earlier, where you could be, before you've constructed it, you can go around with all these decorative edges if you want and create a lovely design, or then create your lovely design by the score, and then you can fussy cut all the way around. That's up to you, but that's how you can simply do boxes when it comes to the actual box maker. But then if I flip this round, as I said, you do have your envelope maker, and within your guide here, you've got all these measurements to create really simple sized envelopes. Very, very straightforward. You can follow the guide there. But what I'm going to do is I flip over. On Masterclass and on the website, we do have our envelope box creator. This has also got your little notches here. So this is what sits in. Now, I just want to reiterate, when it comes to this, you can absolutely use this on its own. It's not essential you have your Ultimate Pro. However, as you can see, it sits in nicely. It's your workstation. You don't have a thinner plastic board, although it's quite substantial. You do have the thickness, the sturdiness of your Ultimate Pro. So all that I'm going to do, this is the guide that you get with it. And then I'm going to go into, there is also centimetres and there is inches. So what I've done here is I'm going into my inches. Gives you a little bit of a step-by-step that you can see here. If I go into the next page, it tells you a flat envelope in millimetres. You can see here, 12 millimetres depth. The next one is 18 millimetres in depth. And this one here, you can see 24 millimetres in depth. If you keep going, you're then going to go into your inches side, and it says flat envelope. It's then giving you 1/2 inch depth envelope, and then it's giving you your 3/4 of an inch depth envelope, or up to an inch. So if you love your decoupage but you don't want to do a box, you can do an envelope box if you want to. But I'm going to come back to my flat envelope. And just to show you as well, so this was the printout from our download section. It's exactly the same that you can see. Slightly smaller, but it's exactly the same. So you can go by either one. If you look at this colour, now the blues lets you know for the size you need, you're going to need A3 card or 12 by 12. Any of the white, you're going to need A4 card or US letter size. Anything in yellow, you're going to need much larger card than the A3 or 12 by 12. As it is, for a simple sized envelope, all you're going to need is either A4 or of course your A3 or 12 by 12. So let's go in this time. Let's actually do vellum.
Oh,
we'll
lovely.
do card and paper within masterclass. So what I'm going to do, for a simple flat envelope, it tells you all you need is position 1 just here. So if I bring this one in, you've got notches here. So all these notches here, you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is flat, then you've got your 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1 inch depth. That's creating the depth. Don't need to worry about that. All you need to remember is you're going to be using position 1 for a flat envelope. And let's do a 6 by 4 envelope in vellum. So I'm going to need a piece of vellum or cardstock or paper that is 7.5 inches by 7.5 inches, which I've already cut. This is from Timeless Butterflies.
Oh, I have
No,
to
it's not.
say,
Vintage Butterflies.
we've got a brilliant deal on vellum
do
pads.
indeed.
You're within the bundle, you're buying 2 and getting 1 free. We've just popped that at the bottom of the screen there for you, but we've not got very many left. We've got less than 40. So not
a
many of
lot.
those. Go quickly. 3 amazing vellum pads in there, 8 by 8 inches in size. Like Craig's about to show you, brilliant for your envelopes. Today's price is just $25.98 or $33.94. Buying 2, getting 1 free.
Brilliant deal that is. Stock up on that, that's for sure. Now it does say 7.5, but what it says underneath, I need lines D and H. So I need to remember that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my vellum in and I'm putting it into position 1. So that's into here. You do have, for your larger cardstock, you've also got your steppers here. So that would then, if it was larger, just sit nicely so you know you've got that in that right slot. However, as you
Perfect.
can see, that 1/4 inch corner fits perfectly. And then what we're going to do, as I said, I'm going to need position D and H. So on this side, we're going to look at the letter D, which is embossed here. And with it being vellum, I'm going to lightly score. Then what I need to do is I need to do D on the opposite side. So we're going to flip that one over. We're going to then score at D. And then the 2 remaining sides, this is where we're going to do position H. So we're going to score down lightly and a few times, and then we can flip to that side, and then we're going to do position H once again. And then what you're left with, just like your boxes, although it's a lot harder to see on vellum, you're left with 4 crossovers at each part. So let's score it just now, just so you can see and you can get an idea as to where those crossovers are. So I'm going to fold, and then I'm going to burnish, and then where I've got that score line, you can then do that again. So we're just going to fold, burnish. Straight away you can see this envelope in the vellum starting to come to life. So let's open that one up. We're then going to go in, and then we're going to fold, and then we're going to give it a burnish, and then we can do exactly the same on the last hand side. So let's line that one up on our score lines, and we can give that a burnish. So there you can see what we have got is a 6x4 envelope there. So all that we need to do, bring in your scissors now, and where you've got that little crossover, we're just going to nick that little angle out, just where my little finger
can
is
just
there.
see
You
that.
can see, and you're going to do that all the way round. So where it crosses over, do a little nick on all four sides. We can then take that one out. We can then take that one out here.
And talking of scissors, we also have a fabulous deal, 3-pack of scissors. Your precision snips, which is what Craig has just used, the 6-inch, and then those large 9-inch scissors. Amazing saving on that bundle. You will find that on the Shop the Day page on the website. All 3 sizes of scissors, a truly essential bundle. If you've not tried our scissors before, what are you playing at? You need to give them a go. They are incredible. Cut right to the end of the blade, high quality, and the fact that you're getting all 3 different sizes means you've got a different scissor for every single use. So you will find the details at the bottom of your screen. Today's price is coming in at $28.98 or $44.98. A real essential little bundle to go for.
Now you can absolutely use your tape pen if you want to go in. However, what I would say when it comes to our vellum is simply incredible, but so is our Colorable glue. Now you can get your vellum glues out there, and I'm sure they do a good job, but you will see with our glue, because you don't need a lot, all that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in at each side here, pop in a little piece, I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to press. Now this triangle here, many, for instance, Debbie Fisher will do it, will fold it in, or you can cut it off. I like to keep it. That's personal preference. There's no right or wrong way, but we can then just give that a really, really nice press. You don't see the glue. That highlight is that's where your 2 layers have crossed over, and then there is your 4x6 vellum envelope that you've then created. You can pop your little card in there, but remember, if you were doing a little bit of fussy cutting, a little bit of decoupage, you want it to be that little bit thicker, you can just follow the guide. It could be either flat, it could be 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, or 1 inch in depth, but that's how you can do that within the vellum. But it's the same with your card, your paper, anything along those lines, and that's with your envelope box creator.
Wow, I mean, how delicate, how gorgeous does that envelope look? I mean, I'm looking at that as a card maker, and I'm thinking, yeah, it'd be nice to pop my handmade cards on, but I'm thinking sticking that onto the front of a card itself is the actual design feature. Perhaps you've got handmade flowers or decoupage you want to have sort of cascading out of that envelope. Make it into a topper. Don't just think about your envelopes being functional. Think about making smaller format envelopes, especially when you're using gorgeous things like that lovely vellum, and actually having them as toppers on the front of your cards as well. So much you can be doing with these scoreboards. And how easy was it to create that envelope? Very, very simple. Following those instructions, get that perfect envelope every single time. And it doesn't matter what material you want to use, whether it's going to be some of your lovely card or paper, or perhaps you're going to go for that amazing bundle of those vellums and you want to get that lovely, delicate, ethereal effect to your envelopes. Vellum works absolutely perfectly. Amazing demonstration. It was great to see how easy that was. So if you're a new crafter, you know that this is super achievable. A couple of questions we've got coming in for you, Craig. So Patricia is asking, she bought the Ultimate quite a few years ago now. What is the difference between that Ultimate and the Ultimate Pro? Does she need both?
It's the metric, isn't it? It's the metric and the imperial. That's the only difference between the two of them. Both do the same, it's just one's metric, one's imperial.
Easy. Then also a question from Anne from the Twin Cities. She's saying it doesn't seem to matter what cardstock she uses. The box seems to be quite flimsy. Is there any tips that you've got for her?
So flimsy, then first and foremost, yeah, it's down to the card that you're using. So an actual box, a construction box, I would always recommend, for me personally, anything over 250 GSM. Although I say that, I would say you're going to get a really strong construction if you do like 280, 300. However, you will get a lovely construction if it is 250 GSM. What to do is, if you're still finding that, although hopefully that's going to solve the issue, because that's really, if you're saying it's flimsy, that's going to be the initial solution. But then what you can also do, if you wanted to, just to sturdy it a wee bit more, just do a little matting layer all the way round. Maybe it's a bit of pattern paper, maybe it's an embossed piece of cardstock. So either on the top of the lid or of course round the rim of the lid, you can be doing that as well. You can do it on the base if you want to, but I would recommend 250 onwards, although I would always doubly recommend 280 onwards, and then create a little bit of sturdiness extra if you want. Just do a few mats and layers.
Perfect. And I always say our Centura pearl is like the perfect weight. It's perfect for box making. We've got an amazing bundle that you'll find on the shop the day category as well. So Centura pearl is a great one to go for. Multi-purpose, craft card, matte black card. But I tend to, when I'm making boxes, I'll have my box base and then I'll probably have 2 mats and layers on there. So that could be up to an extra 600 GSM. So if you are matting and layering, like Craig has said, that will add to that strength as well. But the sort of foundation of your box in terms of that cardstock is key to make sure you get a nice, sturdy, good quality box. Now we've had a little look around the Ultimate Pro. We're going to show you a few more of the features in detail, and it's going to be a perfect opportunity, if you've not already, to get those baskets checked out. We'll see you in just a moment.
The Ultimate Crafter's Companion is an all-in-one compact carry case which is going to allow you to score, measure, trim, emboss and embellish. The case incorporates 10 vital paper crafting tools all rolled into one lightweight and portable product. If you're crafting at home, this makes a great workstation. Or the carry case design allows you to easily pack up everything you need for crafting on the move. With the Ultimate Crafter's Companion, you can make hundreds of different cards in all shapes and sizes. Working with standard card and paper size, you can fold anything, from basic bifold, trifolds and gatefold cards, right up to pop-out, jump-up cards, or even more complex keepsake books. Simply rest your cardstock against the carefully calculated grid lines, read off the desired size, and use one of the specially designed scoring tools to create an accurate and very professional crease. Every card needs an envelope, and with the Ultimate Crafter's Companion, you can make envelopes in any shape and size to match all your handmade cards. Package your delicate craft projects in colour-coordinated matching envelopes and add a professional finishing touch. No longer will you be restricted to making cards to correspond with ready-made envelope sizes. With hundreds of possible size combinations, your imagination is the limit. And for those really special dimensional cards, you can create 3D box envelopes to not only house, but to protect your handmade card creations. Create your own boxes in any shape and size, from a matchbox right up to a shoebox. All of the calculating and measuring has been taken care of for you, so you can simply follow the guide and create custom-sized boxes which fit together perfectly. Triangular, hexagonal, diamond-shaped boxes are all possible, as well as your regular boxes. You can also create specialised exploding boxes or expanding boxes too. You can even make your own favour boxes for those special occasions. Any craft tool box should include a paper trimmer, and when you're crafting on the go with the Ultimate Paper Crafting Tool, you'll need a paper trimmer at your fingertips. The integrated trimmer stores inside the tool and clips into place for easy access. The ergonomically designed cutting mouse holds a standard sized blade, which is very easy to replace. Create delicate embellishment for your paper crafting projects with the integrated bow maker. The simple 6-step process will allow you to create perfect bows in an instant. For paper embellishment, you can use the decorative embossing shapes which are featured throughout the board. Emboss onto special papers, vellums or even acetate to create your own intricate toppers. Everything you need comes included with the tool and stores inside for easy access. Each unit includes a full colour instruction book, cutting mouse and ruler, the bow making pegs and 2 specially designed scoring and embossing tools. Whether you're crafting on the move or using this as a complete workstation at home, the Ultimate Crafter's Companion provides you with all the tools you need at your fingertips.
Hello and welcome back to Crafters TV. Have you secured your brand new Ultimate Pro if you've not got one already? If you're not, make sure you check out those baskets because it is getting busy on that deal. I think you guys at home are sort of cottoning on to quite what a good deal that is. Perhaps you're treating yourself in time for Christmas. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones and you're not like me and you've finished all your Christmas shopping and you think, right, everyone else is catered for. I've done it in time. I'm going to treat myself to a little something and perhaps you're picking up that deal. But talking of tempting you with more goodies, I am so pleased that we've got this on this morning's wake-up call. I said it when they launched, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again till I'm pretty much blue in the face. I love this collection. In case you didn't already know, this is our Heritage Die collection, one of our fabulous launches from birthday week this year. We say birthday week, really. We stretch it out into two because we've got so many goodies that we have to bring to you in quite a short space of time. But this was a super popular launch. You guys loved it, after all. I loved it. I know Craig loved it. Literally all of the craft experts we have here at Crafters TV, when we talked to them about this launch, they were all saying the same thing. It's brilliant to have in your crafty stash because you can use it with so many things that you've already got or perhaps that you're going to be buying in the future. This is our Heritage Die collection. 6-piece collection. We say 6-piece, 6 die sets. And as if that wasn't enough already, when you buy these 6 die sets, we're going to bring you some paper and some card for absolutely free. An incredible offer. But what are we actually getting in terms of the designs? Well, first of all, we look at antique chic. How gorgeous is that? Perhaps you're feeling the love on this Monday morning. Perhaps you've done your Christmas cards and you're looking ahead to Valentine's and sort of thinking of those more romantic cards that you're going to be creating, then this die set is going to be perfect. The sort of concept with our Heritage dies is that they're nesting dies, but nesting dies with a difference. The idea is that you layer up those separate layers, rotating each one 90 degrees to get that almost like a Victorian ceiling rose sort of effect, perhaps a little bit like a mandala if you want it to be, but layering them on top of each other to get that really full, really intricate and detailed effect. And it's the same effect that you can be getting with all of the different sets. As we come to Venetian charm, absolutely stunning detail, almost reminds me of sort of embroidery threads in there. And then as if it wasn't enough to have all that lovely detail within the dies that cuts into your cardstock, we've also got dies that emboss, so perfect for adding your inks to, maybe even your gilding waxes as well, to really highlight that detail. It's just that extra little finishing touch. We've got all that lovely lace-cut, intricate detail that we cut with the dies, but then bringing in that embossing and that inking as well really does set these designs off absolutely beautifully. As we look at our Edwardian elegance, and there really is a real elegance about these dies. Don't forget as well, of course, we can stack them all to get that lovely layered effect, but don't just think of using the die sets in isolation. Think of mixing and matching the different sets as well. As we look at our Heritage scrolls, I mean, I love that scrolly design at the top. It feels very Baroque. I'm thinking some of the papers that are actually coming in that brand new Craft Kit 55 that we launched last week would work perfectly with these, with that damask feel. I mean, we've got a is it a hexagon or is it an octagon? 1, 2, 3. I think it's an octagon. I think it's got 8, but we've got that gorgeous octagon design. Oh, I think it is an octagon. It is 8 on there. We've got that lovely octagon. Something a little bit more unusual as well, rather than just our traditional circle and square, which is included. To get that octagon design, it's just going to give your cards that little bit of a point of difference. But all that intricacy within there cuts beautifully. Of course, you get the separate corners as well, which you can use as finishing touches, or you can actually layer onto the frame designs as well in a contrasting colour to bring out that detail even more. What a stunning set of dies, a collection of 6 die sets. You've got the dies that cut that intricate detail, you've got the embossing included on some of those dies as well. As if that wasn't enough to get all of those incredible dies for $62.35 or $71.76 in platinum. When you buy those dies today and pick up that bundle on your screen, we're also going to give you, I have to say, I was actually crafting with this just last night, prepping some demos for Wednesday's wake-up call. Love this collection of cardstock. I've got at least 3, at least. Maybe more. Our vintage butterflies from the Sarah Signature collection. We've got our A4 pearlescent cardstock. It's going to work with these designs absolutely beautifully. I mean, that pink's going to be perfect with your love hearts. You've got that gorgeous sage green that's really soft and subtle. That cream just slightly off white, so if a white cardstock is going to be a little bit too harsh for those more vintage designs, then that's going to be the one to go for. And that purple as well. And this one is open, so I want to show you that gorgeous pearlescent sheen that we've got to these. I mean, I wouldn't usually put myself myself down as a green girl, you know, I'm more towards my pinks and my purples, but that green is absolutely stunning. That soft, almost pistachio sage green works lovely with the pink as well, and you'll find that all 4 colourways work together gorgeously. And to have that pearlescent sheen on there, absolutely stunning. 24 sheets of that at 250 GSM, so think about perhaps using that for some of your boxes, would look amazing. And then finally, we're also including, you're not paying for this at all when you're getting these dies, our Nature's Garden Gnomes 12 by 12 inch paper pad, 180 GSM in weight, 12 by 12. We're getting 36 double-sided sheets. I mean, if this isn't cheerful, if this isn't going to bring a little bit of sunshine to your craft room, then quite frankly, I don't know what will. The designs are gorgeous. Think of cutting into those, using them as separate borders, perhaps stoppers for easel cards. How cute is that mushroom design? And what you'll find is that the print on the front perfectly complements that print on the reverse, so you know it's very easy to mix and match your pattern papers when you are creating your cards or your boxes or your gift bags or whatever it might be. But I say double-sided, these ones at the back are the only ones that aren't double-sided because we've included these incredible seam designs. You're getting 4 on each sheet, and I always say this is going to be one of these paper pads that you need to buy multiples of, because you're going to be using these seams for so many things besides your garden gnomes. Of course, if you do have that garden gnome collection already in your crafty stash, these are going to be perfect to add your gnomes onto. But think of any other character stamps or dies you might have. Perhaps you've got the Lee Holland stamps, maybe you've got some of the Connie Fong stamps, or any of our other cute little characters we've brought you here at Crafters Companion over the years. They're going to be perfect scene setters. Perhaps you're not into your crafty, inky backgrounds. I made that hard for myself, didn't I? Oof. Perhaps you're not into your inky backgrounds, and perhaps you just want a quick card, then those are going to be the perfect scene to build up that design without having to actually create your own background. So truly, truly indispensable paper pad. I was also using this over the weekend. I love the designs in here. That pink one, of course, being my absolute favourite. But these two, your cardstock and your paper, are coming to you for absolutely nothing when you do purchase the 6-piece collection of these amazing heritage dies. I love them. I've played with them an awful lot. I love using them pretty much, well, week in, week out really, because they are so useful with them being nesting dies. But Craig, love to see your take on these gorgeous dies.
Rightio. Well, let's have a look at a few finished samples first and foremost, because as you were saying, Lily, the heritage dies are all about twisting and turning and going in at different angles, whether you're going in flat, whether you're going on with your foam pads or glue gel, but then you can still go along and you can go in and pop them onto your concept cards if you want to. The reason I love these ones is, you know how much I love symmetrical items. So I love it because you've got the same, whether it's on the left, the right, the top, the bottom, and then you can, if you want to, start to turn them and flip them and change them and cut into them if you so wish. That is the option that you've got. But just like you, Lily, because I love my big background dies, my create card dies, these are ones that I use in simple forums. However, you can absolutely, I mean, look at that one there, overlay and twisting the center ones at angles and then going in flat and straight with the main background. Going in, and then you can be doing, I mean, look at that one there,
that's
lovely.
Nice.
Still seeing that pattern paper that complements at the side, but the focus is in the middle. And then when it comes to the middle, either go in with a lovely bow or your stamped sentiment. It could be a stamped and coloured image if you want to. It could be a die cut sentiment topper. That's up to you. But then you can still go in, you can create your shape cards if you want to. You can see there, go in with your waxes, and with that main die on that outside, we'll show you in a moment, that has the most incredible embossed detail. So what we're going to do is let's go in. Now, although you get your cardstock in the paper, you know me, I'm not going to use it. Let's use something else to show you, because you can be using, over the weekend we've had luxury cardstock on the show as well. And although you're going down that heritage look, you can go in with monochromatics, you can go in with that hint or that brightness of reds and greens. Bring in the cardstock Lily showed you, and then you're going to then get in with that pastel tones, which will give you a different look as well. I'm going to keep it symmetrical because, as we say, that's what I like, but we will have a play about twisting and turning. So what I'm going to do, I love my 7x7, And I know what you guys stateside say to me, Craig, where do you get your card blanks? Because here in the US of A, we have the most basic size card blanks. We don't get all the fancy size card blanks with envelopes. So if that is the case for you, we are very lucky here in the UK. We have an abundance of size and shapes card blanks with envelopes. But with your Ultimate Pro, your envelope maker, you can be making your own. So I've gone in with my 7x7 card that I've chopped down from my multi-purpose, exactly the same. I'm just going to go in with my box making in my Ultimate Pro, and keeping in mind these lines are 1/2 inch. All that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to score at that 1/2 inch there. Now, if you want the actual seam of the card to be thicker at the hinge, you can go on any of these. Although I would certainly recommend round about your 1/2 inch, because you've still got a larger scope area for you to do your insert or sentiments on. And then all that you're going to do, fold it back and then give it a really good burnish. Once again, anything like this, I would still use my tacky glue, although your tape runner will be more than adequate for this. We're going to then match that up. We're going to layer that on top, and then we're going to press. Now remember, when it comes to your tape runners or any dry adhesives, give it a rub, because the build-up of heat is going to, it's going to make it even more sticky, and that's what you want when it comes to your card. And then there is how you've then created your 7x7 card, simply by 2 sheets. You see you've got that little hinge at the top just here, but we've still got a lot of scope when it comes to popping our inserts, or our stamped inserts, sentiments, anything like that. And that goes for any size card that you want to make.
Oh, super, super easy. I must say these days I never buy pre-made card bases. I always create my own. Once you've got your Ultimate Pro, it does work out a lot more economical. And then as well, you can choose whatever cardstock you want to use for your card bases. But as well, I think it's nice to see what Craig's just done there. He's used 2 sheets of A4 card. He's created a large scale card base, 7x7, a nice big size card, plenty of scope to get decorating, but he's only had to use A4 card. He's not had to wheel out the A3, so just using A4 card, you can get that 7x7 inch card base, which I think is fabulous to see, especially for you guys stateside, because I know you tend to find it a little bit more difficult to find those card bases, but do like I do and just create your own. It gives you so much more creative freedom.
So instead of using my Junior, which I would usually use,
I hope you don't lose it. It's not that small.
No, definitely don't want to lose it. Definitely don't. But for speed, because we've got so much to show you, I am going to use my MIDI. So let's take that one off. Now this is the one where, what have I just done with it? I've just moved it somewhere.
It's gone walkabout.
It's gone walkabouts already.
We're looking for the die or the cardstock?
The actual piece of card. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It's disappeared. It's disappeared. Oh. Right. Is it gone? No. Right, let's do that one again.
Plan B.
Because that is actually the bit that I wanted. So the actual inner bit, Charlotte, where we've got this decoration, it's totally gone.
It's gone.
Don't know where it's gone. So let's do that one again. I know I did it, didn't I? It was just in my hand. Nope. Found it.
Is it in the bin?
Found it, Charlotte. Found it.
He's found
Here we go. This is it. This is the bit I want. Now using, you know what me and Charlotte are like?
It really is like an old married couple, I tell you.
Yeah, I just had it in my hands there.
It just went.
Just went. It disappeared.
Thing is, it's black as well. We can't say the whole acetate thing, oh, it's clear.
No,
it's not.
Definitely not. Definitely
out.
not. Now, I'm using my MIDI, so of course we don't have an embossing mat. What I would do with this one, you've got all of this phenomenal embossed detail here. So using your Junior or your large Gemini, I would run it through with my embossing mat, and that's going to look absolutely exquisite. But for time, I'm going to skip that part. But what I do want is I want to have my actual kind of hexagon we can see. This one being our Georgian swirls that we've got there. And then what we're then going to do is I'm going to set that one to the side for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along and I'm going to bring in some of our red luxury cardstock.
Oh, gorgeous colour that. You will find that on the website.
And I'm going in with my I'm going to go in with my matte silver or satin silver, depending on what. I'm just ignoring you, Johnny and Charlotte. I'm just ignoring you. So we're going on about the swirls and squirrels.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at the weekend, Lily.
Oh dear, you had it last week as well.
I did.
When were we on together? We were on Friday morning wake-up call.
I think they've done it.
Yeah, the grand swirls, yeah. Oh dear.
Always in some forum. In some forum.
I don't think it's coincidence somehow.
I don't think so. I
No,
definitely don't
definitely
think
not.
so. But what I've done is I've done that one again. Now this time I don't actually want that in that beautiful red. You can start to see the embossed detail coming through with the pressure of the MIDI. But if you're using your junior, your large Gemini, do go through with your embossing matte. But I don't want that bit. I do want this inner matting layer that we can see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this middle dye here. And I'm going to do that onto my white multi-purpose. And then we've got this small frame dye. I'm going to do that in my white multi-purpose. So if I start to bring in my layers to the side so that you can see.
Don't swipe them onto the floor, whatever you do.
No, definitely not. I need to watch. Don't do that. Eh? Don't disappear this time.
I'll keep an eye out if you swipe
See
them
where
onto
it
the floor.
flies about to. Where's it going to end up?
Where's it going to go?
Hunt the die cut.
Michelle Harris she says she can't wait to get her MIDI. Oh, I wonder if it's going to be a Christmas gift. Oh, that would be a fabulous present. If you are getting that for Christmas, brilliant. Yeah, definitely look forward to crafting with that really useful machine, especially if you are crafting on the go or perhaps you're crafting with younger members of the family. Great to have that manual machine. But you can see with Craig now, it still cuts absolutely brilliantly. We've got that same pressure that we know and we love with our electronic Gemini machines. Just in that manual machine, makes it easier, makes it more transportable, but still same great results every single time that you're using it.
Every single time you're going to get that. And my MIDI, as well as having my junior to my left-hand side in my craft room, I have my MIDI to my right-hand side, because I use it so much. Simply also for speed. I know it doesn't take long for the junior, but sometimes by using your MIDI or even your mini, you cut down that time even more.
Cut down?
On how quick.
No pun intended.
There you go. Yeah, no pun intended on that one. But there's a little frame die that we can see here.
Gorgeous, look at that.
It's beautiful, isn't it? And you can be using that even on its own if you wanted to frame a little image. But I'm then going to come in with this one here. So let's go in with our die tool. And I'm just going to take all these little bits out.
I'm thinking these will be perfect for photos, and I don't know if they still do them. I don't know if this is an old thing or if they still do them. Someone will have to let me know. You know when they do school photo day at school? And you can get like your big full-size photo.
That's
or you can
right.
get the little ones as well, almost like the little passport-size photos.
Yes.
Yep, Johnny's confirming he's got one in his wallet. So they do still exist, thank goodness. That smaller die would be perfect to frame those smaller little photos.
It would.
Just to make a little something more of them, make more of a feature of those photos, but would be perfect to use these frames to actually add around your photos. Don't just think card making.
No, not at all.
Think scrapbooking and home decor as well.
It would be really, really good for that. Now with our black layers, we can see we have cut that aperture out because the actual die, it's got that outside cutting edge. It has that embossed detail, but your inner aperture, that also cuts out. So that's how you get your aperture. So if you wanted to have that as, of course, a shaker or a frame in itself, you absolutely could do. So by going in and cutting that in with the white, this is where it's going to matte and layer perfectly.
Oh, wow.
With that few little millimeters all the way around. And then what I'm going to do with my black piece of card, just going to see, oh, that's going to be absolutely perfect.
Oh, that's always satisfying when you've got a scrap that's exactly
so
the right
satisfying.
place.
It really is, Lily. That is 1 3/4 of an inch.
And that's why we don't throw anything away.
Definitely not. That's exactly why we don't throw it away. So the 4 points hit that edge just perfectly. So that means if we come in with these, and we are going to assemble it in a minute, but let's straighten it up for the eye so that you can see. So this is where what you can then do is you can keep it completely straight if you want to, but then what we can do is that can then go into the middle. And then what I'm also going to do is, if I had kept, and this is where we say, oh, here we go. Oh, it's all going in my favour today. The die cut that come out of there,
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that ever so slightly. So I'm actually going to trim it to 1 inch.
Okay.
So let's go up to the edge there, because what I'm going to get is a natural black matting layer
Oh, perfect.
all the way round there.
Doesn't
So
that finish it off?
it does, doesn't it,
Beautiful.
Lily? And what we're doing is we are adding to the layers that you can also create with, of course, your actual heritage. But this is the way I'm going to assemble it in a minute. However, this is where what you could do. Now, you can go it that way. You know, you could go that way. You could go that way. You've got your 4 points. You can then turn it on itself so that you can see you've got these additional designs popping out. You can then even go back in, turn it that way. So you're still getting that natural drop shadow of the white against the white, but then what you're also getting is you're getting layers of the red. But then what you can do is then, of course, you could come in either just like that or just like that. Or if you come in here, once again, at an angle, or you can cross that one over that we can see here. And then what we could do with this one, which is an additional one that I've chopped down, it did come out the center there. Once again, you can go in there, or then what you can do is you can then lift it up. So we are going to assemble it, but it's to give you a little bit of an idea how by flipping and changing and turning, you're going to get that different look. So all I'm going to do at the moment, Lily, is that if there's any you want to go over or comment, I'm just going to start to layer all these together.
Absolutely. I shall show you what you're getting included, and I think it's brilliant. That little, almost like mini demonstration Craig did there, just to show you how everything works together beautifully, but you can get so many different results just by slightly flipping and rotating those dies. Changes that look completely every single time. So a truly versatile collection that you're getting there. Amazing to get those 6 die sets, but of course you are getting that free paper and card included. That's a 12 by 12 pad from the Nature's Garden Gnomes range, and also that A4 pearlescent card from your Sarah Signature Vintage Butterfly collection. Work perfectly with those designs, but like Craig's showing here, bring in your own cardstock. Maybe you're going to go for something really striking, like the card that Craig's currently making. Go for your whites, your blacks, bring in those pops of colour. Maybe you're going to go down the white on white route. Perhaps it's going to be a wedding invite. These are going to take your crafting all the way through the year. Maybe you're going to be using these for Christmas. Perhaps next year. Of course, these designs don't date. The brilliant thing about this collection, it's truly timeless. It's going to work year in, year out. Change up those colours, change up that orientation ever so slightly, and you're going to change that look every single time, which I think is brilliant. They really are going to be some of your go-to dies.
It's one of those things that, sorry Lily, it's one of those things that you are going to get completely different looks depending on how you turn them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be at 1/4 of an inch. You can simply, if you wanted to, yes, go that way. But if you wanted to go even more at a slant, you can absolutely do that. So it's kind of like that twist-a-page effect that you're starting to get.
Oh, it's reminding me back in the day, the old invertage, pyramide.
Absolutely, all these different ones.
Oh yes, I used to love that sort of thing. But of course you can be using this alongside your decoupage.
Of course
Perhaps
you
these
could.
are going to be frames for your decoupage that you're making. Like we said earlier, it could be photo frames. You could be adding your stamped images to the centre. Perhaps you've got a lovely statement pattern paper that you really want to highlight. Have the frame around that. It doesn't matter what you're framing. It doesn't matter what your crafty style is, what you're sort of into at the moment. Perhaps you're into your stamping at the moment. Perhaps you're more into die cutting currently. These are going to work with whatever else you're using in your crafty stash, but amazing to get all those different results literally just by turning that die ever so slightly. Such a clever concept, but so easy to craft with. Look at that little bit of foam tape onto there. You know I love my foam tape as well.
Absolutely. So I've gone in with my foam pads. You can do different depths if you want. You don't have to go in with height if you don't want to. These will look beautiful, simply flat. Now keeping in mind at home, you're going to have this, it's lovely and embossed. But by using that white aperture in the back, I've created my own little drop shadow. So I've not had to go along and cut that one again in white to create a drop shadow. I'm using the aperture layers that are already there to create the drop shadow at the side here. lifting up with the foam pads. I've gone in with my white frame onto my black, and once again we are going to add our foam pads into place. And then what we can do is we can add that into the middle. Now keeping in mind we can go into different angles. I do love my straight, vertical, horizontal, so that's why we're going with this one. And then our little square panel, what we can then do is if we come in with our scissors, I'm going to chop that one down. That's going to go into the middle, just like so. And then what I'd already done, I'm not going to do it, but the original Gemini mini dies, our garden friends with the ladybird slash ladybug, I've cut that one out, pop in the center. So that's how I'll leave this one. And then what you can do if you want, using your tiny little dies, and this isn't a satin red cardstock.
Oh yeah.
That is just one of our red textures. But you can see how you can go in, pop in a little ladybird or ladybug into the center. So that's how you can start to form the card, and then going in with the ladybug. And then when it comes to the tiny little dots that come out of the wings, what I've done is I've just gone round the design and just added them back in with the tacky glue. But we've got lots of depth that you can see there, which is optional. You don't have to. If you are going to keep it all flat, you're going to do something like the ladybug. If you take any advice from me, I would highly recommend lift the ladybug up on a foam pad or glue gel, even if it's just a little. Keep the rest flat. It's going to add that extra touch, but it's up to you. But there is your two ways, how we created the layout and how it would end if you add your little die cut images.
Fabulous, what a gorgeous demonstration to show all those different options, to show how easy it is to get amazing results and lots of different results from that one die set. And that's not even thinking about mixing and matching the different sets, which absolutely you can do with this collection. If I take you through the designs that you're getting within this range, you are getting the antique chic with that lovely heart design in the centre, that main die with the embossing, and then the other detailed dies as well, even the corners included, which you can overlay onto the frame itself, or you can use completely separate just to embellish your designs. And that is our Venetian charm. And then if we look at our more circular designs, of course, like I say, mix and match all the different ones together. This is our Edwardian elegance. And there really is a true elegance about these designs. How gorgeous, almost baroque for our heritage scrolls. Not squirrels, not squirrels, scrolls. We'll get there in the end. Beautiful baroque as well is included within this collection. Love that octagon design, something a little bit different as well. And it's going to work perfectly too with our Georgian swirls, with that octagon design around the outside, showing all the different layers. A little bit of foam pads or foam tape onto there just to lift it up ever so slightly. But how striking just in the black and white to get all that detail, to get all that depth. An incredible set of dies. And as if that wasn't enough, we're also bringing you, when you go for those six sets of dies today, we're also bringing you the vintage butterflies pearlescent card, 24 sheets of that, 250 GSM in 4 different colorways. And then we're also going to be bringing you that amazing 12 by 12 inch paper pad. We had a little flick through it a little bit earlier. This is our Nature's Garden Gnomes, double-sided, lovely, cheerful, happy colour palette. You've got your yellows, you've got your pinks, your greens, your oranges. Will work perfectly with that Nature's Garden Gnomes range, but of course will go hand in hand with these heritage dies too, and also including those 4 different scenes on that 12 by 12 inch sheet at the back. Going to be really useful when you are crafting, no matter what you're crafting with, whether it's going to be any of your other character stamps or dies, it's going to be that perfect scene setter. So brilliant to get those 2 included for absolutely nothing, alongside these 7 fabulous sets of dies. So much versatility, so many options when you're crafting with those. We've just scratched the surface there with Craig, but hopefully that sort of whetted your crafty appetite with a few of the sorts of things you can do when you get this amazing collection home. Getting quite busy on this one. You can see why it's an incredible deal at just $62.35 or $71.76 if you are in Platinum Club. Now we're going to show you a little bit more about Club Inspire. We talk about it all the time. I always say if you're in Platinum, the price is going to be such and such. You're thinking, I'm new to all this, I want to be part of this Platinum. This little trailer is going to show you a little bit more about Club Inspire, and it's going to give you that perfect opportunity, if you've not already, to get those baskets checked out.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here on Crafters TV. Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You're all our time with each other! You're not through to boot camp, get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV. Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. We see the same people, and we know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Hello and welcome back to Crafters TV. Were you inspired by that demonstration? I have to say I was. I think my heritage dyes might be coming out for a little play tonight when I get back to my craft room. It's fabulous to see all those different options with those wonderful dyes. We've got even more goodies to tempt you with. You will see these a little bit more later on tonight's Monday Makers. I'm thinking, what day is it? I'm thinking, yes, it's Monday. We're getting into that Christmas sort of time of year and you think, I don't know what day it is, I don't know where I am, I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is I'm eating a lot of mince pies and Christmas pudding. That's about all we know at this time of year. And as well, with the weather being so warm, you don't know if we're coming or going. Anyway, it's Monday. You'll see more of that on Monday Makers. But something else that's going to be coming up tonight on Monday Makers is our fabulous Colorable Creator card dies and stamps. I'm not happy about having to say that, I have to say, especially at this time on a Monday morning, Colorable Creator card die collection. And if you caught the very start of the show, Craig gave you a little sneak peek of some of the amazing concepts you can do with this fabulous set of stamps and dies. Now, one of our most popular range of dies that we bring to you here at Crafters Companion, and we have done for many years, are our Create a Card dies. Combine that concept of using that one die to create the full front of your card with fabulous stamps, bringing in any of your favourite colouring mediums, and you really are onto a winner. And that's exactly what this collection is all about. So of course you can use the stamps on their own. There'll be a fabulous stamped panel, stamped topper for any of your cards or boxes. Maybe you're going to be making boxes using your Ultimate Pro and you want something to decorate the lid. These stamps are going to be perfect. But if we combine the dies as well, we can get some fabulous results that are going to cut out that stamped image with ease. And of course, we're not just giving you that full image, we're giving you the finishing touches, those sentiments with matching dies as well. So it's going to complete that project absolutely perfectly. Couple of options with these. We've mentioned that you can use the stamps on its own, but when it comes to the dies, we've actually got 2 dies included. Use the inner on its own and it will cut into that card base to get that cut in almost like a window effect. Great for your shakers as well. But if you use that outer die in conjunction with that inner die, you'll get that cut out panel. So a few different options with these, so lots and lots of versatility. Our second stamp and die set we've come to, of course, with me being a real butterfly fan, the Flutterby is my favourite, this beautiful butterfly. Again, that same concept of the 2 different dies. When it comes to that creator card, you've got the stamp that you can use with the dies to create lots of different concepts, but these will fill the front of your cards, so it's making card making really, really easy. You can just go to town, spend your time on that colouring, really enjoy building up those layers of colour, whether you're using something alcohol based, perhaps your tri-blend, your illustrators, your classiques, or maybe you're going for some of your aqua pens, maybe even your sparkle pens as well, or even just leaving them in black and white, perhaps adding a little bit of glitter to highlight that design. Whatever your choice of colouring medium, these are going to look absolutely fabulous and are going to make card making so easy because you've got that full card base all in one. All you need to do is colour it in, perhaps add one of your sentiments that you are getting included, and you've got a show-stopping card. Very, very easy, allowing that artwork to really take centre stage. Just enjoying this colouring because they are so much fun to colour. And talking of colouring mediums, do check out the Shop the Day page because you will find a fabulous deal. We've got the Monday Mega Deal is on our 36 box of illustrators. We've also got a fabulous deal on our aqua pens as well, a 36 pen set. So do check out the website for those. But our Colorable Creator card stamp and die collection, you are getting both stamps and dies included across those 6 different sets, stamp and die sets, coming in the Platinum Club for just $49.59 or $57.19 for all of that crafty goodness. But talking of crafty goodness, I'd like to see the gentleman over there. I'd like to see your ideas with this lovely collection, please. What can we do with it?
Let's go for it, Lily. Now, I know obviously Lily was saying the other pens at a really, really good price on the website. We'll have a look at them later on throughout Monday Makers. For what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to use my tri-blends because that's what I had kind of pre-prepped what I was doing, and saying that colours are the same, so you could use them, but we'll keep that for Monday Makers. But let's show you a few ideas here because, as I said at the start, and Lily quite rightly pointed out again, it's our incredible creator cards that have always been so popular, so famous. You know, even all these years ago, we started off with creator cards and we thought, how can we, you know, progress from what we've done originally? We've come out with stamped versions of creator cards, and even then I was like, how can we progress? But then the best way is by bringing them both together. So what you've got is that creator card form when it comes to the die, but then in the actual outline of the die cut, you're going to overlay, you're going to stamp your design, and there is your die and stamp creator card. So show you as well, I mean this one here, if you just want to go in with one tone of colour, you absolutely can do. If you love your blending, you love your shading, you love your alcohol, your water base, your sparkle, all of these you can use. All you need to do, of course, change your cardstock, but you can go big if you want to. These, and each of these ones here are 3.7 by 4.7 in size. Nothing stopping you from going bigger, as you see here. But what's also fab with them being our die creator card, the actual image in its frame will cut into your cardstock and stay in your cardstock. But if you use the matte and layer die or the outline die, depending on how you call it, you can then release that out of your card and it's going to be a separate element. If you love to do different foldbacks, concept cards, you know, you can start to use them in all these sorts of ways, you know, diorama, theatre cards. Look at that, a lot of dimension where you've done that dimension from the card blank itself, not the actual imagery. But if you do want to do fussy cutting, by all means, you absolutely can. Just a few more before we dive into here. I mean, look at this one here. What a completely different look when it comes to that on the edge of the card. And that's using part of the cut in, but then also by using part of that cut out die as well, which is fab. Last one for now. So small, large, medium, that one there, cut it out twice, lift it up, and there's your double layer that you can see here. So we're going to go in with, not that I have favourites, Lily, but we're going to go in with my favourite.
Oh, which one's your favourite?
This one is the sweet rose. Between that and the cupcake.
Oh, the cupcake is lovely. It does look delicious, doesn't it?
It does. It looks absolutely delicious. And in actual fact, our Christina has been baking Christmas cupcakes.
Oh, wow.
Which look phenomenal. So after Wake Up Call, I have already taken a video, so I'm going to pop that onto my Instagram. But they look gorgeous and tasty. But there is your Create a Card die. Now, what you will see, just briefly, is there is the stamp. I'm going to have it so it's that way. You can go whichever way you want, keeping in mind, of course, we're going to flip it over to stamp. But then what you will see is how the actual die fits all the way around. If I use that one, it's going to stay in place because it's held in at the edges. But then what you can do, use the outline die, and that's going to release it. But maybe you don't want that thin matte and layer border. Maybe you want it to be bigger. Cut the cardstock to the size you want, then cut this. This will stay in place, but you'll have that lovely large border all the way around. So it is very, very versatile in the sizes. And then what I also love is little, but it makes a difference. You've got your matte and layer dies for 2 of these sentiments as well, if you choose to use them. Let's go in with a small card blank. I am going to be doing my alcohol colouring. So let's go in with our Nina cardstock. And you can, as I always say, stamp and die cut, or you can die cut and stamp. I like to, me personally, I like to die cut first because I use our purple Stampin' Mat usually, and I use that purple background as contrast for me to line up. So what I'm going to do is let's go in and let's take them both off just now, because I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my outline die as well. So let's just flip that on itself. Do them separate if you feel comfortable, but as long as you go in and secure them with your low tack tape, you're going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to tape at the top. I'm going to tape at the bottom. Not really bothered about this side edge because we're not going to use it or see it. I'm not going to put the tape into the middle because although I'm still using my midi, the midi, as you know, you've still got incredible pressure like your junior or your large Gemini. So I'm just going to make sure my tape's not in the middle just in case any of the fibres of the low tack tape catches. So if I take that out of the way, there is my separate element that we've got from our Create a Card. Then what we can do, on this occasion, I'm going to go in with my large stamping platform. I'll just verbally explain what I meant by the reason I love to do my die cutting first is if I go in onto my purple mat now, I would be using the other side. You can use both, but I'm just using this side as a visual to show you because it's nice and clean. Let's go in with the stamp here. So if I was to hover over with my 6x6 or even my 4x4 stamping platform, by hovering over, I can see the contrast of the purple and then that fine white line. So I find it easier for me, where possible, to die cut first, then stamp. But if you want to, of course, stamp first and overlay the die, absolutely. It's no right or wrong way, it's what you feel comfortable doing.
I have to say, I've played with these and I do actually stamp then die cut. So opposite to Craig.
Yeah,
and I think when you
opposite.
speak to all of us different craft experts, we all say a different thing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I do tend to stamp first and then die cut. But like Craig says, it's whatever works for you.
Absolutely, definitely. The other reason as well that I do it the way I do it, and again, it's just a personal preference, my fear is I stamp it and colour it, and then I go to cut it, and I've not secured it quite right, and it slips, and then I've wasted all that colouring. The chances of that happening, as long as you've secured it, is very, very slim. If you are one of those that do have issues with that, I know some people can be like, gosh, it just doesn't seem to stay in place, and maybe you've ruined that time doing the colouring. Try it my way. If you're completely new, try it the way I've done it, try it the way Lily's done it, and then see what works best for you. Because as I say, it's no right or wrong way, it's just what you feel comfortable doing. And then let's go in with my stamping platform. So I'm going to go in with my alcohol proof, this one here being our Noir Black. And if you've seen the weekend shows, you'll have known that Corin had a phenomenal full weekend of hints, tips, ideas, including going over our ink pads, including our finesse. She did focus on water reactive, quick dry and pigment, but she did look at our finesse as well, so you can go back yesterday and have a look at that. But what I'm doing with my large one, it can rock, you can see just here. Becky won Demo of the Week. Becky won with the wreath.
With the wreath, oh, fabulous.
She did indeed.
Oh, that was a lovely demo.
It was really, really lovely, wasn't it? Wait a minute. No,
it was Corin's shaker tags, wasn't it?
It was Corin's shaker.
I was thinking, because I caught the end of Second Chance, and I was thinking, I'm sure it was that shaker tags craft along.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Corin's
was
craft along from yesterday.
Do you know what it was? We had a little bit of a mix-up. Because of the way shows have been, we were lacking in a few demo of the days, and we know, I think it was one of the Debbies had done one, but didn't want to leave it here, so we were down one, so we're down with a few, and then we kind of got lost, so we had to go with what we had. So yeah, so Becky had one for the Friday, then Corin had obviously one with the Saturday, and then the Sunday, which was our craft along and the shaker tags. It was between Becky and Corin, but Corin had won Demo of the Week. So yeah, it was Corin with our
We'll get there
tag.
in the end.
We'll get there in the end. We definitely will. So I've inked up with my black. Now with our large stamping platform, just let it settle, because sometimes it can move. So let it settle, get it into place, and then we're going to press all the way around. For me, I like to keep one hand still and press all the way around. Doesn't matter what hand, but I just like to press, and I will press probably more than I need to, Lily, but I do just like to make sure.
Belt and braces always.
That's it. And the reason I love my large one is because I've not put enough pressure down here. Now, what I would say is I wouldn't necessarily reapply any ink at the moment, because if the ink's not there, it's got to be there. So try it again. If you need to reapply ink, you can do. Let it settle, press where you've missed, and then there it is.
Perfect.
So keep that in mind. If you've covered it completely and go to stamp, if it's missing from there, it has to be on your actual stamp. So try it before you actually reapply any more ink, and then you're left with that most delicate, beautiful line when it comes to the flags. No, it wasn't Noir Black. Got flags. I've still got yesterday on the brain,
dear.
Lily, because it was such a good weekend.
Oh, yeah, as well, we had a vellum masterclass yesterday at 11, so if you are picking up that bundle, we've not got a lot of them left, but those 3 vellum pads, if you are picking that up today and you want a little bit more inspiration, do look back. Yesterday at 11 o'clock, Corin had a fabulous vellum masterclass, so lots of hints and tips, and we did have the ink pad, I believe it was starter skills, I think, on ink pads, but it was one of the shows on Saturday. Lots of brilliant content over the weekend, so obviously after this show, go back and watch those shows between our shows today. You'll get lots of inspiration on there. Fabulous weekend as ever.
Yeah, there was just so much, and so much that you can cross over. And I have to say as well that, especially yesterday, because it was myself that was on that side yesterday, although I know this has been a running theme the last couple of weeks, the comments of love of our new schedule at the weekend because of the format that we do. We focus on a specific item or range, and what we do is we dive straight in. We go straight into the actual way to use it or how to use it, and that's what you have been appreciating, because vellum is one that so many get scared of.
Absolutely. I mean, I get so many comments personally saying, oh, I've got all these vellum pads, I'm not quite sure how to use them. And Craig's right, these weekend shows are about that inspiration. They're about giving back to you guys and giving you exactly what you want to learn and taking things back to basics if need be. But yes, so much brilliant content over the weekends. It's been really exciting to sort of see it all come together, and it's been so satisfying and so pleasing and heartwarming to hear that you guys are loving them as much as we're sort of loving putting them together.
Definitely.
Lots of brilliant things planned for January as well. Won't say too much, but some great shows lined up, of course.
Yeah, we've got loads. Corn was telling me what she's going to be up to as well, so
Yes.
it's going to be lots of exciting things. And then what I was initially away to say as well, you know, with what Corn was showing on the Saturday when it comes to flower forming, you can then transition in with the ink pads yesterday, and then you can start to ink up, and then you can then ink your, you know, your flower forming foam or your papers or that, but then start to team it in with the starter skills scoreboard that I done the weekend before.
Absolutely.
And then you can bring in with your boxes to decorate when it comes to your flower forming or your ink techniques. So it's such a lovely way where you can start to bring in the different weekend shows that we done to start you off, and then we come along during the week with 2 hours of our master classes or our Monday makers or our craft alongs, and we go in with a lot more depth, and that is what many have been loving.
Absolutely. I mean, if you caught, I believe it was not this weekend, just gone the weekend before, you, Craig, had a fabulous Colour Me Happy on water-based mediums. Perhaps you've learned some tips and techniques from that class that you're going to bring into these Colorable Creator cards. Maybe you're picking up those aqua pens that we've got on the show this evening, and you're going to be using those techniques that Craig has taught you, using them alongside your Colorable Creator card dies and stamps to really get the most from those stamps.
Definitely.
It's just mixing and matching, isn't it? And that's what crafting's all about.
It really is. That's exactly what it's about. It's about giving you, certainly once again at the weekends and then our weekday shows, it's giving you as much advice, it's giving you as much ideas, hints, tuitions. But once again, if I go back to the weekend, it's breaking it down in a simpler forum. So it's not going to scare you if you are a starter, because then we explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, and the main products, and that's the key thing, Lily, because I know you've got a lot to do with it behind the scenes as well. It's the key items that we need. So if we're going to use the, let's say for instance, I use the Score Master.
Yep.
Now the Score board, so I use the large scoreboard.
Yep, big score.
That's it, the big score. See, even now I'm trying to think of them.
There's so many, isn't
There's so many, isn't there? And what I mean by that is I use the large scoreboard. Now, the Score Master would do the same in a smaller form. The Box Maker in the Ultimate Pro would do the same in a smaller matter. However, instead of confusing you all with this can do it, that can do it, that can do it, but that's better, this you can do, that you can't do, it's focusing on that one item and then explaining how you can use that. Get your head around it. Then over time, you might see the Score Master or the Ultimate Pro today and go, actually, I liked what you done, and that's good, I've bought that, but this is nicer in a smaller form or that. So it's just making it, no, I think we are very, very good at not confusing things, all of us on the team. But sometimes it can be that can do it, that can do it, that can't, but that's good for that. So we just break it down at the weekend. So you go into the week shows and you're like, yep, you've done, I understand that now, understand that. So it's a good way to then start to progress if you are a beginner.
Absolutely. And then when you've got those sort of basic skills, you've got that core, that key knowledge that you need, whether it's about your ink pads, whether it's about your flower forming or your box making. Then when it comes to the weekday shows, and we've got all these amazing new launches, and can I just say January, oh my gosh, some of the launches, amazing. Stay tuned is all I can say. But when it comes to those brand new launches, you might be thinking, right, so this such and such collection is launching today. I'm going to snap that up because I can use that alongside the skills that I've learned on that starter skills on scoreboards. I'm going to be using that new collection with my box making. Those brand new stamps are going to be using that alongside the knowledge that I've got of water-based mediums, and everything starts to work together beautifully. You're building on those skills, ready to get those brand new, lovely crafty goodies when we launch them during the week. And my goodness me, have we got some launches coming up in January. But before I say too much, Craig, please speak, because there's so many amazing things coming, honestly.
It absolutely is. There really, really is.
I mean, I'm sure you've had a sneaky peek as well, Craig. I'm sure
indeed.
You've got your hands on some of them already, but wow.
Maybe just a couple.
Just a couple.
Just a couple, yeah. All that I'm going to say is we have a gorgeous nature garden collection.
Oh my gosh, Craig.
We know of a few that are obviously coming within the year.
Yeah.
But there's one specifically that I can't wait for.
Is it the January one?
I don't think it's the January one. But that is all that I'm going to say because I don't want to get into trouble either.
I have to say the January Nature's Garden, oh my gosh, absolutely stunning.
It won't be long till we actually see it in more detail.
If you think this is our last week before Christmas, it will only be a few weeks.
Where's the time gone?
It's scary, isn't it? It goes ever so quick. Yeah.
As I was saying yesterday, so myself and Corin, we're closing out the year on Crafters TV on Friday.
I'll be here on Friday for Wake Up Call as well, so it'll be us three closing out the year together, which is quite exciting.
And then we're both starting the year on the 2nd.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. End the year and start the year, which will be lovely.
Be like you've never gone away.
It's exactly what it's going to be like, Lily. Exactly what it's going to be like. Now, of course, I would carry on when it comes to the colouring. So with these ones, just so you know, I started to use Jade Green Blend, the Purple Blend, and you know what I'm like. I would have gone round my Ice Grey blend with my Ice Grey, the Ice Grey 2. So that's the tri-blends that I would continue to spend a lot more time on. But then what you can do is if I go in with my card blank here, and what I also want to do is in the middle, which will be kind of that form of your Creator card, because our Nina cardstock is 160. And
216? 216.
216?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's 216.
Oh gosh, there you go. I need to get my weights right.
I think
Because it's not as sturdy as your multi-purpose card, what I'm then going to do is I'm going to go in with the two dies, well, the one die really. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create an additional aperture. Because the other thing, the more you colour, it's going to bleed throughout the back, and I don't want that to be seen. So I have gone in with my so my card blank will be 4x5. So I've done it 4x10, scored it the halfway because I love my top fold cards. So then I'm going to go in with that one here. And then what I can then do, once again, is tape that one down, pop that into the centre and press that in and press that in. I'm going to put it into these little die cut apertures because, once again, if the tape catches, it doesn't matter. So let's flip and rotate. Now, once again, this doesn't have the outside edge to it. It is only the Creator card decoration detail. So let's run that one through. And then what we can then do is take that out the way, pop that to the side, carefully take that one off here. There we go. And then what we can then do, so then we can then come along, we can pop that straight over the top. What I could have also done, before I have die cut that, I could have popped my green underneath and cut the two layers exactly the same time. So that would go through, you would still see the see through. So let's go in now. What I'm going to do, I thought I had my Violet Studio paper trimmer, which I don't. So I'm going to create my own little square / rectangle aperture. So I am doing it very, very fine because I don't want to see any of the green popping out to the side. So we're going to go into here. Some of your rectangle matte and layer dies may work size-wise as well. So it's just enough that we're going to get a matting layer all the way around, but it's not going to be seen into the middle here. But even with the midi, if you pop the two cards together, they still would have cut. So I'm just going to go in so far, and then what I can do with my little scissors is snip that away as well, finish that one off.
And your little scissors, your precision snips are absolutely perfect for jobs like this, and you will of course find that bundle. We did mention it earlier, the precision snips that Craig's using now, the 6-inch and the 9-inch scissors. You'll find that on the Shop the Day page on the website. But for your intricate little jobs like Craig's just been doing there, the little scissors are absolutely perfect. You'll find that at the bottom of your scrutiny now. Oh no, that's our red liner tape collection. And that's also perfect for if you're sticking your acetate or if you're sticking your boxes, red liner tape, you will find that on the website. But if you're wanting to get your scissors, you get the 3-pack of the small, the medium and the large, £28.98 or $44.98. You will find that on the website, like I say, with a fabulous bundle of those core tools.
So now that means I've got a spare piece that I could be using elsewhere. I've got my lovely deep turquoise green matting layer all the way around, but then you don't see any of the green popping through. So I can go straight over the top. My multi-purpose card blank is then of course going to be really strong and sturdy. So I can either go completely flat, or of course you can raise with your pads as well. For this, I am going to go in flat. Now, of course, this isn't fully coloured. As you can see, I would be spending more time, but I want to show you the actual construction of it, and then I can show you the finished samples that was done with the Illustrator pens. Same colour, but just in the Illustrator forum. So that can go into here, and then what you can then do is match it and line it up. So you'll have it beautifully coloured on your Nina. You're then going to have that really strong construction with, of course, your multi-purpose. Let's bring in an additional matting layer. Now you might think, well, Craig, that's how it's going to look. Why didn't you just keep it? The reason being is this same colour is then going to matting layer on the inside, like so. Press that one in. And then what we can then do is, yes, at first it looks like the way I showed you a moment ago, but you've got that aperture feature that runs through. So if I show you how we created that one there. So at first it looks like the way I showed you to start with, but you can see as you open it up, you have then got the aperture create a card feature. So you've got that lovely deep turquoise backdrop, but as you open it up, you get some light shining through. But then if you use your illustrators, which we will do later on in the show, or in the day anyway, on Monday Makers, that's how you can then start to create that effect that we can see just there.
Wow, what an absolutely stunning demonstration of how you can see how easy it is to work with these dies and the stamps to get those different effects. That aperture looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? Love those stamps. That rose design is just beautiful. Now we're going to have a quick vote coming in for a demo of this show. So Craig is just lining up his 2 demos, so get your votes in. What have we got to vote for though?
So what I'll do is, these were the 2 that I've done. Now keeping in mind how they would look, so let's also, that's how you would finish them off. So that's how we've got number 1 here, or then you've got number 2. So that's how it would look. Of course, colouring, we would love to do 3, 4, 5 hours of just colouring.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we can't. But you can see there, that's how it's going to look. So number 1 or number 2.
Brilliant, get those votes in. Just a few moments to get those votes in, so be quick on that one. But also if you're wanting that deal, be quick on that too. That's our Colorable Creator card stamp and die selection. 6 stamp and die sets, amazing value at platinum price, under £50 at $49.59 or $57.19. You're getting all of those gorgeous designs in both the stamp and the die format. The dies allowing you to cut the detail in or cut that complete stamped image out as a panel, but a brilliant collection. You will see more of that coming up tonight on Monday Makers with Craig. But something else that, well, I was going to say it's coming up on Monday Makers. It might not make it to Monday Makers. Let's be honest, you're going to have to be so quick on this. This is incredibly limited stock. When we say limited stock, we're talking like single digits sort of units. So if you want this, you're going to have to be quick, because quite frankly, Ben's not having this tonight. This will not be on Monday Makers. So be quick if you are wanting your 3D macro floral embossing folder selection. Yes, I said it right. I said the name right. No Marco Polos in sight. I'm not saying it again, that's it. But you're getting 3 of these amazing 3D embossing folders included, 5.5 inches by size. You're getting that different depth, you get that sculpted effect with it being our 3D embossing folders. You get that foreground, that midground and that background detail, this being our pretty peony. Just using some of our inks onto there, perhaps our water reactives. But maybe you caught Debbie's amazing craft along just a couple of weeks ago using these embossing folders. Think about using your aqua pens, maybe your alcohol markers, colouring these in, really picking out that detail. Perhaps you're going to go white on white with a hint of glitter, or maybe even onto black with some gilding wax. This is our lovely Lily. I have asked, it wasn't named after me unfortunately, but still an absolutely gorgeous design. I mean the detail in there, all that pollen, the stamens in the centre, using a bit of ink to pick that detail out. Absolutely stunning. And finally, within the collection, we've got our Heavenly Hellebores. Just beautiful, all that detail, all those layers. Think of your faux bleaching techniques as well, using your water reactive ink pads and flicking your water on. Can get so many different results and so many different effects using these fabulous embossing folders. And the fact that they're 3D as well means you get those incredible levels of detail, all in that much loved floral themed design. Let's be honest, we use flowers time and time again when we craft, perfect for so many different occasions. An incredible deal. It works out better than buying 2 getting 1 free, so it's even better value than that. Just £11 or $15. Yes, Johnny in my ear is saying he had to double check that price. He's thinking, oh blimey, we've got that wrong. No, that is right. It is an incredible deal. 3 of these 5x5 inch by 5x5 inch 3D embossing folders, platinum price £8.80 or just $12 for all 3. Incredible value. Like I say, it's better than buy 2 get 1 free. Amazing. But what sort of thing can we do with these, Craig? Craig's got a few samples to share with us before the end of the show.
I do indeed. Now, when it comes to these ones here, next door in product development, Ruth, who created the Advent calendar, these were her ideas. She was wanting a folder, 3D folder, really micro close up on a flower head. Leanne wasn't sure if it would be possible, but Ruth being Ruth has got the most incredible result. So whether you're embossing and then you're colouring with your water reactives, maybe you're going to go over the top with your water-based ink pads or aqua pens that we can see within these ones here. Using the 3D emboss as a guide for you to colour. So instead of using your black or flagstone brown pebble outline that you would as a stamp, you're just using the embossed detail when it comes to the floral. So whether you're going to go really subtle with your pinks or maybe your lilacs, or you're going to go in with your greens, it's entirely up to you. They are just round about 5.5, 5 3/4 by 5.5, 5 3/4. So if you want to put them onto your 6x6 card, you can. You want to extend that so they're going to go onto an 8x8 with your backgrounds, you absolutely can. But once again, you can still do your concepts. These sorts of things you'll find on the Ultimate Pro, in the USB, and the guides. You can be doing all of these that you can see here. Highlight with your waxes, go in with your sprays as well if you want to, but you've got incredible depth. Or you can simply run them through, leave them as they are, a little bit of matting and layering, and you're still going to get that wow effect from the folders.
Absolutely, they're almost like Creator card embossing folders.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah.
Because they'll take centre stage, and I think it's nice to show as well how everything's working together beautifully. Use your Ultimate Pro and your scoreboards alongside your embossing folders to get all those amazing different concepts. It's nice to see how everything sort of plays together to get you those fabulous results. But talking of fabulous results, what is demo of the show? Demo of the show is going to number 2, the Colorable Creator cards. A gorgeous demo using the sweet roses. That's going to go into our vote at the very end of the day that Ben will be doing on Monday Makers tonight. that is our demo of the show, a gorgeous demo showing you that concept of cutting into your card base and then using some of your pens to colour in the image. What a gorgeous card. Just showing you sort of one of the options really, just scratching the surface when it comes to those colourable, I can't get my teeth around that, those Stampin' Dies, they're lovely, get them. They're coming up on Monday Makers tonight, but talking of what's coming up later today, Craig's here all day, but we're bringing in, professionals are coming in for the rest of the day. Benny's coming in for this afternoon's masterclass, all about your scoreboards. There's going to be so many hints, tips. I'm sure Craig's going to take things back to basics. A great one to get your questions in for, actually. Talking all things Ultimate Pro and scoreboards. And then at 6 o'clock tonight, it's Monday. It won't be a Monday without our Monday Makers show. And that's coming up with Ben and Craig at 6 o'clock tonight. Looking more at those heritage dies. Well, I was going to say we're going to bring in these, but quite frankly, they'll be gone. So looking at the heritage dies, the Colorable Creator cards, I said it, and lots more besides as well. We've got that fabulous Monday mega deal on those Illustrator pens too. It's going to be a fabulous day here on Crafters TV. I'll be back tomorrow morning for Wake Up Call alongside the lovely Corinne. Lots more goodies coming up tomorrow too. But make sure you check out those baskets and secure those purchases in time, and you can sit back and relax for the shows for the rest of the day. It's been lovely to have your company, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Toodles.